Back to Twin Cities Live. Okay, superstar Taylor Swift and the Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, they are getting ready to tie the knot. Congratulations, by the way, you guys. We love love. You might be asking yourself, what happens to the property that each person brings into a marriage? Those two have a lot of property, like maybe all of Taylor's Grammys or Travis's Super Bowl rings.
There's a lot of property. So here to tell us what those laws look like in Minnesota, we have family law experts Jody Terzich and Shannon Ort from the law offices of Terzich and Ort. Hi, ladies. Good to see you. Are you guys so excited? Oh my gosh. You guys set the date? Are you guys going to watch it?
The office shut down.
Office shut down. It is a big deal.
Is it going to be a national holiday when they actually get married?
It's going to be the biggest media extravaganza, and they're going to have to shut down airspace around where they get married.
I hope to goodness they just elope and they just do it quietly and nobody even knows.
Maybe they'll go to Vegas, who knows? But this is very interesting because these two obviously have a lot, which, you know, is all relative, right? I think as people are getting married a little bit later in life, you're tending to kind of have your own stuff. Somebody maybe owns a home or they've got different established. So let's talk about marital versus non-marital assets. What does that mean? And like, how do we keep more of our own stuff?
Well, first of all, we have to start with the idea that in Minnesota, we presume everything is marital.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so then if you say, no, this is non-marital, this is mine, right, you have to prove it. You have to show that you had it before you got married or during the marriage you got it from an inheritance, or somebody gifted it to you, someone other than your spouse.
So it's all about documentation.
It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this documentation, is this happening, is this something that somebody should do like right before they get married, or is this only like relevant when they get divorced?
Well, it's far more helpful if people gather the documentation before they get married, right? Super simple. Bank statements, credit card statements, appraisals of houses, mortgage statements, because you're getting them on a monthly basis, right? So for those people that put it in a file folder and keep it all together, life is easy. It's maintaining those records over time that often is difficult.
Well, also, I mean, it kind of might give some people a bad vibe if you're just like, I'm always documenting the stuff that's only mine in preparation for the day that this ship sinks.
So it looks like you're always looking for the exit, right?
Right?
It might, but you're also protecting yourself. In cases of people who maybe have other children from a different marriage, there makes sense that you maybe want to protect that for the children in the future.
How does it work with a house or property? If you owned a house and then you go into the marriage, does that become marital property?
In part, it's like taking some red paint and some blue paint, right? So now we've got some purple paint, but there's still red and blue in there. So it's being able to document, this is the house I had before we were married, and here's the value of that house, and then we did these improvements, and we did these refinances, and we did all this stuff, so we created some marital interest, but we still have some of this non-marital interest. So it's really a math problem, right? Being able to document and figure out how much is marital and how much is non-marital.
Okay, let's just assume, and I know there's privacy laws, so let's assume that you guys are giving Travis and Taylor marital advice, okay? Actual law advice before they get married. Like, what's the best way, what should they be thinking about and doing as in this process right now? Not just like planning like what we're gonna have for appetizers and what kind of drinks we're gonna have at our wedding, but like...
Prenup.
What should they be doing to protect those things like Grammys and Super Bowl rings?
Sure. They probably do want to be talking about getting a prenup and documenting, having an agreement so it's laid out and we know how this will play out if there is a divorce. That's one way to do it.
It feels so non-romantic, though.
I know, it does. Very
and it feels like you're just immediately saying, like, hey, do you want to marry me? But when we throw in the towel, here's what's going to happen. I mean, how do you wrap your head around that for people?
I think that it's a matter of, and it's a much easier conversation, as Jody mentioned, when people have children, right? As older children, because then it's about protecting and having your children should be getting the assets that are yours and my children. It is a harder conversation when it's a young couple or there's family money or they've accumulated wealth and they don't have children. It's a harder conversation, but it's just a real conversation, and those are important conversations to have about money and what our value system is and how this is going to have a healthy marriage.
You got to have hard conversations about money all the time.
You do. And lots of couples we will see operate in their marriage very financially separate anyway. And so they are having those conversations from the get-go.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Okay, so what happens then, real quickly, if there is so Travis and Taylor very much kind of on the same, almost same level, right?
She has so much more.
I get it, but
She, like,
for
dwarfs
the
it.
exercise purposes,
Okay.
like they're kind of almost at the same level. But what if you get in a relationship and like one person makes way more money and like has all this success and the other person's just kind of down here? How does that work out, equally or fairly?
We primarily look at assets, right? Not the disparity in incomes, because that comes not to a property division, but potentially to a spousal maintenance claim later on. So very different things. But it's just about looking at what did you come into the marriage with, and what can you document that you came into the marriage with. We want people to leave intact if possible. This is what you had, this should be yours. Leaving, and the other person would leave with what they have.
This is good stuff. Really helpful too if you're thinking like if you've got grown kids or whatever. Good idea to meet with an attorney and have a conversation
100%.
about it. If you want any kind of guidance when it comes to family law, Jody and Shannon are here to help. You can schedule a consultation with them. You can give them a call. We got the number there right there on our screen and on our website, twincitieslive.com.